it's a warning to Trump that even as some people like Steve Bannon are delaying, trying to defy the committee is still getting critical firsthand evidence. And
damn, I lost the end.
It sends a message to others in Trump world that key people are cooperating. They should cooperate too. That's not to say the committee doesn't want information, like the documents from the National Archives. Clearly they do. But this is a warning to Donald Trump that pieces of the puzzle are coming together from behind the wall.
Yeah, perhaps that more people than he even knows have come forward and revealed information.
Absolutely.
Jamie and Gail, fascinating as always. Thank you so much.
Joining us now.
Right now, I'm just playing some news. Some news for you guys. This is a lot of politics is about to be popping up. A lot of this, a lot of that. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting into some of that stuff. Hood politics coming soon.
Jennings, he's former special assistant to President George W. Bush. Also worked for a long time for Mitch McConnell. Scott, always good to have you on.
I gotta brush up on my history.
So I should note of course, McConnell did not vote to impeach here. I wonder, as you hear that reporting there about the pieces coming together, about a minimum the president on the day of January 6th, are there enough puzzle pieces in your view Republicans to step away from?
Well, it's a great question. I think the reckoning on this will come in 2024 if he seeks the nomination for the presidency again. I mean, look, I voted for him twice. I'm quite pleased with most of the policy outcomes of the Trump administration. But what's become clear is that he violated his oath of office. And I think we already knew a lot of this. He did not act on that day to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution. It is in his oath of office. And so as a party, Jim, what we're going to end up having to reckon with here is, can you return someone to the White House? Will you support someone going back to the White House who, in a moment of crisis, chose to violate their oath of office? It says to the best of my ability. And I think, based on this reporting and based on what we already know, anyone could argue that he acted to do his oath of office to the best of his ability.
And Scott, according to at least Liz Cheney, the answer to your question as to whether he can return to the Oval Office and become president again of the United States, given his inaction, is no. But it's not just from people like yourselves or Mitch McConnell that we heard condemn those inactions. The days and the hours following the insurrection, we heard from Kevin McCarthy. Now we heard, thanks to Liz Cheney over the weekend, saying that Ivanka Trump went in twice to tell her father to do something. And the same with Mark Meadows, getting text messages from Donald Trump Jr., having his dad stop it if he can, please. And yet just days and weeks after that, the situation seemed to change. Why do you think that is? And what message are voters and Trump supporters sending?
Well, I mean, obviously, Donald Trump has stayed on his course and stayed on his message that the election was stolen. And he is the most influential Republican in the country. The grassroots of the Republican Party see him as the leader of the party, and they are more inclined to believe what he says about this matter than, you know, anyone in Congress or me or anyone else for that matter. And so as long as that is the case, that is going to be the prevailing opinion. It's not everybody's opinion in the Republican Party, but yeah, if you go out to a party meeting these days, you'll find a lot of people who not only agree with Donald Trump that the election was stolen, but believe, you know, he should be returned to the presidency. Now, I assume we're going to have a big primary about this in 2024. If I had to put money on it today, I'd say Trump's the odds-on favorite to be the nominee, but surely somebody will stand up to this man and say, I liked a lot of what you did, but January 6th was an unforgivable day.
So I suppose the question then is who, right? I mean, over the weekend, Peter Meyer, one of the 10 House Republicans who voted to impeach former Trump and now drawing ire from the former president, some of the supporters, said, echoing you, at the end of the day, there's no other option right now in the Republican Party. It's a sad testament. Is there really no other option? Handicap this if you can.
Totally,
who could stand up?
Yeah, I totally disagree with that statement. I mean, I understand his analysis, which at the moment, if a primary were held, it's obvious Donald Trump would be the nominee. But we have a number of people who can not only execute the same policies you loved about Donald Trump, but also not violate their oath of office in the process. I mean, you look at the governor of Florida, DeSantis. You look at Tim Scott of South Carolina. You look at Nikki Haley. You look at Ted